Good morning, everyone. My name is Cliff Austin. Welcome to painting number 19 of the Create 30 Challenge promoted by Elaine Picard. This is video number 13. Please visit the Curtis Art Center and check out Mary Williams Fine Arts and also my website, cliffaustin.com. And if you would be kind enough to leave a comment on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, I would appreciate it. Today we're going to do something very small. This is an 8x8 canvas. It's a single acrylic prime gesso with an acrylic wash over the top of it so it's dry. And we're going to be painting this simple tree. And because it's Sunday, and because I have a lot of other things to do, we're going to make this a really fast painting. I'm going to lay out my grid, my 1/3 grid, like that. And it helps me a lot, and it's a good habit that I got into. And in my photograph, I've already gridded it out, so that gives me a good idea of where shapes are going to be. And just very quickly, we're going to lay out some basic outlines as to where these pieces and parts are supposed to go. We're going to pay a lot of concentration or a lot of attention to some of the design aspects of this. I'm going to try and design this so that there's a compositional element going through here, like that. So we have this compositional element with this kind of triangle shape with supporting round and straight in the background. So not bad, not bad. That's a good place to start. I have an idea of how this is going to work, and we're going to go right into filling out the shapes. So I'm going to start with my darkest values first. I'm taking sap green and burnt umber, and I'm just going to make that fairly thin. Maybe just a little bit of cat orange into that. There we go. And we're just going to fill in that shape. Just complete that abstract shape. Just like that. And there's dark in the bottom down there where there's shadow underneath, so I'm going to grab a little bit of the ultramarine. And I'm just going to lay that in right down there so that's cool and dark. And this side has got a little bit more coolishness to it. Like that. And then there's a reflection that's dark also. But a reflection is not the same as the object itself, so it's going to be a little bit complementary to the shape. So if the shape is warm, its reflection is going to be cool. If the shape is hard-edged, then the reflection is going to be soft-edged. Just put that in there, just for some reference. And then we're going to go to the background a little bit. Oh, by the way, I didn't finish my thought. So if this shape is warm, the reflection is going to be cool. If the shape is dark, the reflection is going to be lighter. Not lightest, but lighter. If it's got a lot of hard edges in here, you'll have to use your visual judgment to see what's happening here in the reflection, because that can go hard and soft. And you'll use that as a design element to get to where you want to be. This ridge line I'm going to make bluish. So to make things go back in the distance, you want lighter, cooler, and softer. So I'm just going to go with some bluishness. That might be a little too dark, but we'll see for now. We have some shadows going on over there. And a little warm, and a little cool, a little big, a little small, a little hard, a little soft. It's all good. That's the contrast in paintings. Right, so there's our dark shapes, basically. And then we'll go to our medium shapes. And that, to me, I'm going to call the ground plane. Even though when I squint at the image, it could actually be a lighter plane and make the sky a lot darker blue. But for now, we're just going to take the ground plane, the horizontal plane, and this stuff here, and make it light. We can always change it later, but for right now, we're going to play with some flesh colors, some ochre colors, maybe even some greenish colors off to the side, and see how that works. And again, all I'm going to do is just fill in those shapes. When you start thinking about specifics, start thinking this is a grass plateau or a tree or a trunk. Many times your eyes and your mind get sidetracked and trying to add too much stuff, more stuff than you realize. Because our mind and our memories carry a lot of baggage. So I want to paint a tree, and then your mind goes, oh, I remember a tree I fell out of, or oh, I had a tree swing, and I remember all kinds of different things that gets in the way of your visual perception of seeing accurately. So if you can, think in terms of shapes. Think in terms of shape relationships. And how those shape relationships work with everything else. Okay, so we're getting close to the point where we're looking at some really interesting shapes. This could go a little bit warmer right back here. A little bit warmer. This could go a little bit paler right in here. Just like that. Kind of like that. I'm going to mess with that edge just a little bit. Alright. I thought I'd go into the sky right now, but I see that the light, the very light moss stuff on the water, it's really drawing my attention, so I want to make sure that I get some of that in there first. And it kind of looks like that. Kind of, sort of. A little warm in there, a little cool in there, a little bright right in there. Kind of like that. Now I'll go back in a minute and put in some dark and some pure blues in there. I think would look really nice. Okay, then let's go to the sky shape. I was in a paint out one time and I saw this artist use 3 and 4 different colors of blue. She made them the same value, but the way and the fact that she used different blues, an Antwerp blue, a cerulean blue, and ultramarine blue, all in the same sky shape, really vitalized that shape. If I were working on a larger painting here, I would definitely do that. Right now we're just doing a very quick demo, and I might look into that off camera when I finish this painting. But for right now I'm just going to mix up some sky blue, some ultramarine, and some titanium white, and try and get just the right value. Just the right amount. I think I'm going to need more paint, because I paint my lightest values a lot heavier than normal, whatever normal is. And it looks like it's way too light, so I'm going to make it a little bit darker. So the blue I've got is a real pretty blue, but it seems a little too intense, so I'm going to bring it down just a little bit with a touch of cadmium orange. Blue and orange are complementary, and so that's going to gray the sky a little bit, so I'm going to have a blue-gray, but by nature of its value, it should look like a sunny day. If that blue were too intense, too pure, then it might call too much attention to itself and wouldn't play well with the rest of the shapes. So we're just going to put this in there and see how it works. Look at that. Not bad. Not bad at all. I want that kind of sloping inwards. I think that worked pretty well. So, I see that my center of attention, this shape here, needs a lot more emphasis. So I'm taking sap green, cadmium orange, and making this military drab green, which to my view, to my eye, looks a little bit more realistic in nature. There's an artist I admire who uses phthalo and makes his trees look phthalo-ish, and they are gorgeous. They are a gorgeous, gaudy green. Looks believable. That's wonderful. But too intense for my taste. But I love his art. Alright. And we're going to make the bright side, or the value side, the light side of that shape, a little bit more of a different value. And it will look kind of like a light side and a dark side. And it's going to look kind of like this. Kind of like that. Cool, cool. It could even be brighter, couldn't it? So I'm going to grab some more cad yellow, mix it into this puddle of paint, and just touch even more here. Lighter still. I'm going to add a little bit of white to bring up the value. And I'd recommend caution when using white to lighten colors, because white does gray things out. Something like that. I'll have to come back and put some dark on that side, but for now, let's bring some of this down here so it's a color that's not all by itself. Something like that. I'm going to bring that shadow back into here. Kind of like that. There are some edges a little bit. Hard and soft. Kind of like that. Fun, fun, fun. So we have all our bits and pieces in there. Let's do some refining. We'll try and make some of those shapes play well with each other. See if we can't get those shapes to integrate with each other a little bit more. And so this edge to me needs to be altered a bit. So a little bit of that looks cool. We'll take some of this and soften that. And the background, that definitely needs to be soft so that it goes back. You can soften that as well. And if there's stuff in there we don't like, we'll just get rid of that. Soften those edges. Just going to bring some of the sky into this tree shape a little bit. Just in here a little bit. We'll take some of that sky and put it right in here. Didn't like that. Let's fix that. If you don't like something, just take it out. We'll just make that be gone. Cool. I like that.